So good.
Love it.
So good. Let's get to today's Daily Dish. Elon Musk's SpaceX is now valued at $46 billion.
Really?
The company recently made one of the largest single fundraising pushes by a privately held company of $1.9 billion. Now, this puts SpaceX third on the list of the privately held startups valued at more than $1 billion. Some investors believe SpaceX is actually undervalued. Morgan Stanley analysts wrote last month that the company could be worth as much as $200 billion if its experimental satellite internet project works as intended. I'm guessing it will. It usually does.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, Elon Musk, plus, if I'm not mistaken, I think Tesla is like, isn't that $1 trillion company?
Well, I think we've talked about that on the show before.
And it's like,
I can't keep up. When it gets past $1 billion, I don't
and
know.
Apple, and it's like, I think Tesla's right up there with those guys. And then you got SpaceX. I mean, you've got basically a success story with this dude.
I'd say so.
The only non-success he has had that I know of is naming his son or daughter.
And what, I forgot what is it?
It was a string of numbers and letters. I don't know, but well, actually, I think SpaceX had
probably a
few hiccups out there, but for the most part, it's been very successful, and I love it. He really is. He's a thinker and a doer, and a lot of people
can dream it and do it.
He can dream it and do it. And a lot of people he's both, no doubt about that.
This is so interesting. Now, it might not as yet be used as a treatment for COVID-19, but studies suggest that if you are looking for an alternative treatment for colds and coughs, honey may be beneficial. It's been used, of course, for home remedies for years, and it's proven to kill bacteria. Physicians from Oxford University wanted to determine how effective honey is at treating symptoms of upper respiratory infections like COVID. After analyzing the evidence, they found honey was superior to usual care, including over-the-counter medicine. The authors, of course, say more research is needed on the subject, but don't we all use honey when we have a bad cold in our hot tea?
Oh, yeah, I love using honey. I've got some honey at home right now.
Yeah.
And what I'll do sometimes, even if I don't have a cold, I'll stir up some honey and some apple cider vinegar.
Good for you both.
Drink that down, and yeah, it's like a healer. I mean, I love it.
It's medicinal in every way. So.
And I remember one time I went to a beekeeper's place, and he was taking me to his combs that he had. And he was pulling up some of these combs, and he said, "You got to take just like one little finger and just." I'll tell you, it was the best honey.
Oh, just
ever.
because it's so fresh right
from
there.
the comb. It was like that was awesome.
That would be an experience.
And, it's really good to know that there are things that really taste good, like honey, that are good for you, because it's usually not that way.
Well, and not processed. It is what it is,
exactly.
yes, and it's good for you. Some dinosaurs were such large creatures that the ground would have shaken and when they walked. So in order to support that weight, the animals had different bone structures than other mammals and birds. Now, a team of paleontologists have come to that conclusion after comparing fossils of dinosaurs to other extinct mammals. They specifically looked at that area that surrounds the tiny holes in the interior bone, part of the bone. Scientists found that in dinosaurs, this bone increases in densities to support the animal's weight. The study's authors believe these findings could help in future designs used in aerospace projects. Well, Elon Musk is probably right there buying that research right now.
He might be behind the research.
He probably funded it, yes.
No, he might. Well, you'd have to expect that. I mean, I would think larger animals have to have basically bone structures that
or
will
you'll
hold
become
up the weight.
extinct.
I mean, yeah. I mean, elephants are pretty big animals, too. I mean, you could study that to find out how well it works. So, yeah, maybe that's why they're extinct.
Exactly.
Maybe those bone structures weren't quite as dense as we thought.
Wasn't as good as we thought.